Jews in the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire lasted from 1299 to 1923. The leading personalities. Moses Kapsali was the head rabbi of the Jews in the Ottoman Empire from 1454 to 1495. He was the first long-term Hakam Bashi. He was a very prominent member of the Sultan's court. He sat next to the religious head of the Muslims. He was instrumental in convincing Sultan Bayezid II into allowing the Jews into the Ottoman Empire after the Spanish Inquisition. Tobias Cohen. He lived from 1652 to 1729. He was an important doctor in that time, with significant medical contributions. His work, the work of Tobias, included much of his great knowledge, including medical diagrams of the human body. Rabbi Yosef Karo. He was born in Toledo in 1488 and died in Safed on March 24th, 1575. He traveled to Edirne, Palestine, and Salonika. One of the greatest scholars of his time, he wrote the Shulchan Aruch, a complete compilation of halachot relevant to modern life. Rabbi Yitzhak Luria, the Arizal, he was born in 1534 in Jerusalem and died on July 25th, 1572. He became engrossed in the studies of the Zohar, contributing many deep thoughts about the Torah. He wrote the Eitz Chaim, the Tree of Life, a Kabbalistic work dedicated to the further spread of his teachings. He was buried in an old cemetery of Safed. Interaction with the outside world. The Jews enjoyed prosperity and many freedoms under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. The Jews were important doctors in the Ottoman Empire, sometimes even treating the Sultan and his court. There were Jews who were against practicing medicine on Gentiles. Jews were mainly goldsmiths and jewelers in the empire, as well as dominating the commerce of the empire. Jews were allowed religious freedoms in the Ottoman Empire. They were allowed to structure their communities however they pleased. They were represented in the government by the head rabbi, the Hakam Bashi. A ceremony in the Ottoman Empire. On the left is a miniature of the Ottoman Empire. On the right is a sitter made in Salonika in 1527. This is a capitulation reopening trade between Venice and the Ottoman Empire, signed on October 2nd, 1540, following the Battle of Preveza. These are capitulations of the Ottoman Empire. They were contracts between the Ottomans and other European powers, mainly France. This map describes the movement of the Sephardic Jews traveling after the Spanish Inquisition into the Ottoman Empire. This is a political map of the Ottoman Empire and its vassal states. This is a map depicting the Jewish diaspora from Jerusalem into different parts of the Ottoman Empire.
Timeline of Jewish events. 1420, Moses Kapsali. He lived from 1420 to 1495, born in the Venetian held Crete in 1420. Served as Hakam Bashi from 1451 to 1495, first long-term Hakam Bashi. Convinced Sultan Bayezid II to welcome the Jews after the Spanish Inquisition. 1488, Yosef Karo. Born in Toledo in 1488, he traveled to Edirne, Palestine, and Salonika. He wrote the Shulchan Aruch in 1565 and died in Safed in 1575. 1492, Spanish Inquisition. The Jews were exiled from Spain and Portugal and welcomed by Bayezid II. 1492 to 1497, Sultan Bayezid II. Sultan Bayezid II accepted exiled Jews from Spain and Portugal and sent out an official decree in his empire telling the people to accept the Jews as friends. 1543, Yitzhak Luria. Born in 1543 in Jerusalem, he contributed many works of Kabbalah to the world and died in 1572 and was buried in Safed. 1565, occasion date of Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch was the guideline book of all halachot in modern life. 1642 to 1693, Muhammad IV. He kicked the Jews out of Yemen into the Malza Desert. 1652, Tobias Cohen. He lived from 1652 to 1729. He's a famous doctor and wrote the Mahasa Tovaya, the works of Tobias, temporarily supervised the taxes on the Jewish people. Relevance to our lives. Major works that impact us today, such as the Shulchan Aruch, the guideline book of all halachos, and Kabbalah teachings from the Arizal explaining the Torah in greater details, were all written during the Ottoman Empire.